Today our goal is simple. We're going to learn how to upgrade the workbench in Valheim so you can craft better weapons, armor, and gear. But before we dive in, let me just say the weather in Valheim is looking beautiful today. The sun is out, the wind is calm, and it almost makes you forget that trolls and skeletons are waiting to smash your face in. Alright, back to business. The very first thing we need is a workbench, and to build one, you'll need a hammer. The hammer is crafted with just 3 wood and 2 stone. That's it. Once you've got your hammer, you can place down your workbench and start unlocking the real crafting potential of the game. Now, once you've placed your workbench, you can't just leave it out in the open in Valheim. The workbench only works if it's sheltered. That means you'll need to build a small roof over it, along with some walls to protect it. It doesn't have to be fancy. Even a simple hut with a roof and 2 or 3 walls is enough to make it functional later. You can upgrade the building if you want, but for now, just focus on covering it so the workbench actually works. Alright, now that we've got the hammer in our hands, it's time to upgrade the workbench. First, open up the hammer menu and scroll down until you find the chopping block. To build it, we'll need 10 wood and 10 flint. Let's grab the wood. Super easy, just chop down a few small trees. Now for the flint, head over to the riverbank or the shore. You'll see those gray stones lying on the ground. That's the flint we need. Once we have everything, place the chopping block right next to the workbench, and there we go. Workbench upgraded to level 2. Now that the workbench is level 2, let's push it even further with the next upgrade, the tanning rack. We'll need 10 wood, 15 flint, 20 leather scraps, and 5 deer hides. Wood and flint. You already know how to gather trees for wood and the riverbank for flint. For leather scraps, just hunt a few boars roaming around the meadows, and for deer hides, grab a bow and hunt some deer. Once you've collected everything, place the tanning rack right next to your workbench, and there it is. Workbench upgraded to level 3, unlocking even better gear and upgrades. Alright, it's time to take our workbench to the next level by building an adze. To craft it, we'll need 10 fine wood, 3 bronze. Fine wood comes from chopping down birch or oak trees, but remember you'll need at least a bronze axe to cut them. For bronze, smelt copper and tin together at the forge. Once you've got everything ready, place the adze right next to your workbench, and just like that, your workbench is now level 4. Very soon, I'll show you how to build a forge, which opens up a whole new level of progression: metals, stronger weapons, and powerful tools. Alright, now it's time for the final upgrade, the tool shelf. This one will push our workbench all the way up to level 5. Hammer ready, open the crafting menu and select the tool shelf. To build it, we'll need 4 iron, 4 obsidian, and 10 fine wood. The fine wood you already know. Chop birch or oak trees. For iron, you'll have to mine it from muddy scrap piles inside the swamp crypts and smelt it down. And obsidian is found up in the mountains, so make sure you're prepared for the cold before heading there. Once you gather everything, place the tool shelf close to the workbench, and just like that you've unlocked the maximum upgrade, workbench level 5. Now it's time to step up our crafting and build a forge. Just like the workbench, the forge won't function unless it's sheltered, so first we prepare a proper spot. Lay down a floor, raise a few walls, and cover it with a roof. This will keep it protected and fully operational. With the hammer in hand, open the crafting menu and select forge. To construct it, you'll need 4 stone, 4 coal, 10 wood, and 6 copper. Stone can be picked up almost anywhere on the ground. Wood, of course, comes from chopping down trees. For coal, you can either burn food in a campfire or produce it in a charcoal kiln. And for copper, mine it from copper deposits in the Black Forest, then smelt it down in a smelter. Once all the resources are ready, place the forge inside the shelter we built, and just like that, you've unlocked one of the most important crafting stations in Valheim. Now that we've built our forge, it's time to upgrade it, starting with the forge cooler. Equip your hammer, open the crafting menu, and select forge cooler. To build it, you'll need 25 fine wood and 10 copper. Fine wood comes from chopping down birch or oak trees, while copper is mined from copper deposits in the Black Forest and smelted in a smelter. Once you have the materials ready, place the forge cooler right next to your forge. This will upgrade the forge to level 2, unlocking more advanced crafting recipes and stronger equipment. Next, we're going to upgrade the forge with anvils. With the hammer equipped, open the crafting menu and select anvils. To build them, you'll need 5 wood and 2 bronze. Wood is simple, just chop down a few trees. For bronze, smelt copper and tin together at the forge. Once you've got the materials, place the anvils right beside your forge. This boosts the forge to the next level, unlocking even more advanced crafting options for your weapons and armor. Now it's time for another important upgrade, the forge bellows. Hammer in hand, open the crafting menu and select Bellows. To craft it, you'll need 5 deer hide, 4 wood, and 4 chain. Deer hides are easy to get by hunting deer in the meadows. Wood, as always, comes from chopping down trees. The tricky part is chain. You'll need to defeat wraiths in the swamps, as they drop chain when killed. Once you've collected everything, place the bellows right next to your forge. This will boost the forge level, allowing you to craft even stronger weapons and armor. Up next, we're going to add the forge tool rack to our setup. Equip your hammer, open the crafting menu, and select Forge Tool Rack. To build it, you'll need 10 iron and 10 wood. The wood is the easy part. Chop down some trees. For iron, you'll need to venture into the swamps, break muddy scrap piles inside sunken crypts, and then smelt the scrap iron into usable bars. Once you have the resources, place the tool rack close to your forge. This upgrade pushes your forge to a higher level, unlocking even more advanced recipes for gear and weapons. Now it's time for the grinding wheel, one of the key upgrades for the forge. To build it, you'll need 25 wood and 1 sharpening stone. The wood is easy, just chop down some trees, but the sharpening stone is a special item, and here's how you make it. First, craft a stonecutter's table using 10 wood for stone, 2 iron, and 1 workbench nearby. Once the stonecutter is placed, open its menu and you'll find the recipe for the sharpening stone, which only requires 5 stone. After crafting the sharpening stone, open the hammer menu again and select the grinding wheel, place it right next to your forge, and with that upgrade, your forge reaches the next level, giving you access to even sharper, stronger weapons. Before we move on to the final forge upgrades, let's add the smith's anvil. With your hammer equipped, open the crafting menu and select smith's anvil. To build it, you'll need 10 iron and 5 wood. Wood is easy, chop down a few trees. For iron, mine it from swamp crypts and smelt it in your forge. Once placed next to your forge, the smith's anvil unlocks higher tier recipes and prepares your forge for the final upgrades like the grinding wheel. This is the perfect step before moving on to sharpen and perfect your weapons. And that's it. We've taken our workbench all the way to level 5, built a forge, and upgraded it with everything from the cooler and bellows to the tool rack and grinding wheel. With these upgrades in place, you now have access to some of the strongest weapons, tools, and armor in Valheim. This is where the game really opens up, and trust me, you're going to need this power for what's coming next. In the next video, I'll show you how to take full advantage of your forge to craft advanced gear and prepare for the tougher biomes ahead. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.